To review, the verb, is to write a critical appraisal of a book, play, movie, etc. for publication in a newspaper or magazine, etc. Let's assume the last part is up to interpretation, but a critical appraisal of something. For some reason, people think that a review cannot be biased. But is that actually true? Hello everyone, this is Matt from Real World Review, and today I'm going to be talking about opinions that can be facts that some people think that should only be facts, but are actually opinions sprinkled with facts. Confused yet? There's no real story here, but what's a review? Well, look at a movie review, and almost immediately you'll see an opinion. So that's what a review is, correct? Well, not really. Some people think that it must be fact, while others think that it should be an opinion, which, yeah. The former of that sounds more like a report. For example, if a police officer writes up a report, they're simply stating the fact that happened during the situation. There's a reason why it isn't called a review, which could technically fit into that made-up situation. Sometimes it can have some biases in there. The officer can assume that the person involved is the type of person that they don't favor, in which that report would technically become biased. But the logistics of that made-up situation are not too important, just the idea that a review, report, and biased remembrance of a situation are all different things. But does that mean that they all can't intertwine and become a review? When looking for a blank review, a no-named review, it is assumed that there wouldn't be any bias going into that review. But here's the issue. No review is ever going to be blank, simply because there has to be some credibility added into that review, and you're going to get that based on the person reviewing it. This is the reason why some people will state their history to give themselves credibility. We'll see this consistently in real life with endorsements by celebrities. If you saw someone with a flip phone telling you why Linux is so cool, maybe you would just assume that they're trying to push that product and they don't actually care about it. Then you find out that Indago is a gin that Snoop Dogg promotes, and no one cares. No one thinks that that's fake. Everyone believes that that's real. Right? There are definitely going to be some endorsements that just make sense given the brand or the person that's promoting it. Credibility matters, but that also means that there has to be a bias in there. But bias does not mean that it has to be negative. Honestly, I get told all the time that I'm an Android fan or that I'm an Apple fan. And I have to say to that, who cares? Also, maybe watch some other reviews, because I'm definitely not a fanboy of either of them. I've reviewed many phones in the last 6 years, some that are terrible today, but awesome years ago, as well as some that are still awesome to this day. And even now, my favorite phone was the Nokia 5610. After that, it has to be the Google Galaxy Nexus. My favorite iPhone was the iPhone 5, but I'm definitely liking the iPhone 15 Pro a lot. And I do have to say, I like my 14 Pro as well. Maybe not the best, but I still do like the phone. The point is, it's okay to be a fan of some things and absolutely hate other things. There's a show called Westworld, which fits what I like with the whole sci-fi sort of thing, but I still have never seen it simply because I'm not a fan of Westerns. But if I watch it with low expectations and I end up loving it, then that means that I have even more reason to recommend the show simply because I had no reason to enjoy the show in the first place. Well, maybe not no reason, but you get the idea. Also, if you're thinking it's not a Western or whatever, I'm wrong. Again, I haven't seen the show. But this brings me all the way back to if reviews should be biased, and the answer is simply somewhat. Of course, there needs to be some opinion and some bias, because simply being in the middle is not entertaining. That's why you'll see some things that are left and right, up and down, whatever, right? Nobody's actually in the middle. Everyone always focuses on being on one side, on the opposition, blah, blah, blah. You're not allowed to be in the middle, apparently, which seems stupid. When I go through a review, I like to go back and forth if it is warranted. Take something like a mid-range phone that can have something good, like an OLED screen, but then take horrible photos, but then the price is cheap, yet at the same time there's a better flagship option out there. Positive to negative. Positive to negative, and so on, and so on, and so on, and so on. I'm not a fan of making negative reviews. It just ends up feeling like a hit piece, and I end up not wanting to watch that review. And just like how I can have favorite phones, I can also understand that there are going to be some products that people will love and die for simply because they enjoy it or it has a sentimental reason for them. And to that I say, good luck. The internet is very big and definitely has a lot of people that are going to troll you, even if they agree with you. So should a review be not biased? Absolutely not. because all that review ends up being is just a spec page, and you shouldn't say, oh, this has a 6-inch screen, and then just leave. As a reviewer, you need to explain why it is or isn't important and what you like or dislike about it. Making a fully positive or fully negative video does warrant a warning to the person watching. After all, you don't want to waste 2 or 3 hours watching a terrible movie, or even 15 to 20 minutes hearing or reading about how terrible it is. Lastly, biased reviews based on payment is definitely not okay. No company should be able to pay for someone's endorsement, something we should all be able to agree on, but you also hear blank is the official blank of the NFL, and it's perfectly fine for everyone. I can review a product that is sent to me for free, and if I like it and other people don't, I'm biased now. But if someone in the NFL says they like Microsoft Surfaces, people will buy Surfaces, and that's perfectly fine. That sounds like someone being biased against reviewers. All in all, I believe that reviewers understand the issue with being 100% positive and 100% negative with a product, even if they were paid or have positive and negative reactions to the company's other products. I mean, come on, if you go on Yelp, you'll probably see a bunch of negative reviews from people that have had 9 good interactions and 1 bad one, yet they left the bad review. I mean, think about it. If you've ever left a bad review, you're probably being biased. And that's all I got today. Discuss in the comments. And as always, thanks for watching.